Network.org. We're on the Central Florida channel all day long. And for those of you who are doing just that, welcome to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. My name is Mark Barchi, the media director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, and I am ready to take you through the final game of the 11th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge as we get ready to conclude our marathon. At this point, it is a foregone conclusion that the Metro Conference will not win the Metro versus Florida Challenge this year. Even if the Trojans were to come through here in Game 24, it would not be enough, but we're going to play the game anyway because everybody's already here. And we've got ZZ Clark putting the Lakers on the board. This is the largest event we have ever held. I believe 22 games was the previous record. We now have 24 games as the tray does not fall for Alex Daniels. And we're going to get a rebound on the Windermere Prep side from Kyson Pruitt. Going to try to make it happen in transition, and he does. Kyson Pruitt, coast to coast for two. Windermere Prep on paper would appear to be the favorite in this contest. They have two state-ranked players, one of whom is signed with Dartmouth. As you heard during the introductions, that's Jaden Williams. Evans, though, is no slouch. They are a perennial team to watch, and so we'll see if they are able to bring the upset tonight. Not going to do it that way, though, as the ball is stolen by Eduardo Placer. Drew Kuzet not able to get the tray to drain, and the rebound goes to Alex Daniels. Will go the other way. Into the paint, and we're going to get some contact. Lakers foul is called against number 22, Jaden Williams. That's his first personal foul, the team's first. So that's the one guy you definitely do not want to get into foul trouble because that could very easily alter the direction of this game in a hurry. Minute and a half gone. Evans still looking for their first bucket. Into the paint, not there. Go to the corner instead. Down the baseline and some contact drawn. Jimmy Brown fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two for the Trojans. Foul called against number 22, Jaden Williams. His second personal foul and the team's second. Well, what did I just say about foul trouble for Jaden Williams? And that seems to be precisely what's happening. I see a sub at the table waiting for him. First free throw goes in for Jimmy Brown, and Evans is on the board. Checking into the game for Windermere Prep. ZZ Clark, coast to coast for two. Too much mustard from Alex Daniels. Rebound goes to the Lakers. Pruitt finds the corner with Kuzet. And the Windermere Prep will start swinging it around. Punching through the paint like butter. That's Kyson Pruitt for two. And we'll pause now for a Trojan timeout. 30-second timeout requested by Evans. The 11th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge is presented by Hoop Culture. Basketball culture is changing. Bring the same attitude to your team wear. Let us outfit your team with primo performance at every level. Coaches can go to hoopculture.com and click on the Team HC link for more information today. The Winter Park Driving Academy is a proud sponsor of the Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. Visit WPDriving.com to schedule a lesson for your student driver today. Again, we want to welcome you to Apopka High School. This is, as I mentioned earlier, the largest event we've ever had. 22 games is the previous record. We've got 24 this year. Now, how do we get to 24 games with only 22 teams in the Metro Conference, and one of them, which would be East River, not participating this year? Well, the answer is that Apopka and Oak Ridge each played 2 games, and there was also a girls' game for the Apopka girls versus Windermere. That's how we get to 24. Shot does not fall for McQuay, and we're going to get a foul on the rebound. Lakers foul is called against number 33, ZZ Clark, his first. The basket by number 22, Melvin McQuay, is good. He's at the line shooting for the three-point play. And the three-point play is there. ZZ Clark from Eduardo Placer. Melvin doesn't find anything, hits a wall in the key. Much better pass, though, and it's Jashawn Melvin to Micah Blackman for 2. Lakers run into some trouble in the paint. They'll reset the play. Losing his dribble, he's got to let it go, and Placer can't get the jumper to fall. McQuay can't find anything there. Placer on the rebound. Tries to punch it in himself. Short. And Blackman trying to make something happen in transition, and he does. That's Blackman on the pass to Jimmy Brown for the transition basket. Joshua Steineck for 3 from ZZ Clark. McQuay can't get it to fall, but putback made by Blackman. Placer can't find the 3. Another quick transition play. Doesn't fall. Fouls called against Lakers number 5, Eduardo Placer. That's his first personal foul, the team's 4th. Avery Anderson at the line shooting 2. For 2 at the line. And ZZ Clark just barely gets blocked before he travels. Trojan foul called against number 2, Avery Anderson on the hold. That's his first personal foul, the team's first as well. Brandon Bass Jr. goes for the 3. That's not going to happen, and we get a foul on the rebound. Foul called against Lakers number 0, Drew Cousset. That's his first, and the team's 5th. Chad Stewart can't get the jumper to fall. ZZ Clark for 3. To the corner, a little too hot coming in from Melvin. Picks up his own rebound, tries again, and this one falls. Basket by Jashawn Melvin. ZZ Clark can't get it to fall. Rebound goes to Brown, go the other way. Block is called against number 0, Drew Cusay. That's a second personal foul, the team's 6th. That was on the floor, so it'll be Trojans ball at the opposing baseline. Checking in for Windermere Prep, Eduardo Placer and Kyson Pruitt. Back out to the top. Off the mark for Brown, and we're going to get a foul on the rebound. Trojans foul. Called against number 5, TJ Massey. Strike that. That's actually against number 15, Chad Stewart. His first personal foul, the team's 2nd. Jaden Williams is fouled behind the arc. He'll go to the line and shoot 3. The foul is called against number 4, Jashawn Melvin. That's his first personal foul and the team's 3rd. First free throw is good. Second is a miss. One more coming since he was fouled behind the arc. Two out of 3 at the free throw line. Checking into the game for Windermere Prep, Grant Grew. And for the Trojans, Alex Daniels. Chad Stewart adds 2 for the Trojans. That cuts the lead to 4, but not for long. Eduardo Placer down the baseline for the Laker layup. Micah Blackman picks up 2. ZZ Clark and 1. Foul called against number 11, Alex Daniels. That's his first personal foul, the team's 4th. And after thinking about it, the ball bounces in to make the three-point play good. That takes us to the end of the first period, and it's a 7-point ball game in favor of the Lakers at the end of 8 minutes. 23-16 is your score here in game 20. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. The Trojans have the opening possession of the second quarter. Tray doesn't fall for Anderson. Second chance opportunity, not going to work there for Blackman either. Jashawn Melvin, coast to coast for two. Foul called against number 15, Chad Stewart. That's his second personal foul, the team's fifth. Checking into the game for Evans, number 22, Melvin McQuay. Melvin McQuay picks up the bucket for Evans. Foul is called against number 21, Micah Blackman. That's his second personal foul, the team's sixth. At the line shooting two, Eduardo Placer. And he hits the first. Checking in for Evans, Henry Calixte. Two for two at the line. Checking into the game for the Lakers, number 1, Joshua Steineck. Swinging around to the corner, nothing there. We'll go back the other way. Daniels can't find the three. Coming back the other way with Placer on the rebound. Williams can't drain the rain from the corner. Melvin gets the rebound, gets to the paint, decides he doesn't like what he sees, sends it out to Anderson, who immediately gets called for traveling. Lakers ball. Inside to the paint, it's trouble. And Placer loses the ball to a steal by Anderson. Going the other way down the baseline, finds the corner, looking for an open man. Blocked. Swatted away out of bounds by Jaden Williams. Checking in for Windermere Prep, Kyson Pruitt. Blocked. Basket by ZZ Clark. Some contact there, and Lakers coach was really hoping for a foul call. Didn't get one. Coach Hoff putting some faith in Jaden Williams. He's not in the game right now, but he's continued to get minutes in spite of racking up 2 fouls early in the first quarter. See how much we hear from him for the rest of the game. 3 doesn't fall for Melvin. Scramble for the rebound. And ultimately, it's Placer who comes up with it. ZZ Clark tries to take it from outside the arc. That's not there. Anderson on the rebound, going the other way to the baseline, and we got contact and a charge. Charge taken by ZZ Clark, charged against Jashawn Melvin, his second personal foul, team seventh. No bonus shots for offensive fouls, but it turns the ball over to the Lakers. ZZ Clark from Eduardo Placer. That re-ups the Windermere Prep lead to 9, 29-20 your score. And I just realized we have the first quarter at the bottom of your scoreboard. That's wrong. We'll get that fixed. That should be the second quarter, of course. Checking into the game for the Lakers, number 30, Brandon Bass Jr. In and out for Placer. Daniels setting up the play. Dangerous pass. Jashawn Melvin picks up 2 on the steal. So one good turnover deserves another. And stripped. Placer gets the ball taken away from him by Anderson, who goes all the way himself, and that is Avery Anderson, coast to coast for the Trojans. That cuts it to a 5-point ball game, so while it has been Windermere Prep the whole way, the Trojans by no means are ready to go quietly into the night. They're staying close and keeping this game within shouting distance. Out of bounds, Trojans ball. Checking into the game for Windermere Prep, number 33, ZZ Clark. And it looks like the original call is overturned. They are going to say that that was just a deflection. And so it stays with the Lakers. Jaden Williams gets called for traveling. Trojans ball. So one way or the other, it ends up in Evans' possession, whether you believed it should have been that way the first time or not. Jashawn Melvin for 2. Slip and fall. Kuzay is nearly going to lose the ball, but held ball, possession, Lakers. So the turnover is avoided since the arrow is pointing in favor of the Lakers. Checking into the game for Evans, number 3, Jimmy Brown. And for Windermere Prep, Eduardo Placer returns. And for Evans, Chad Stewart is back in. Anyone else? Going once, going twice? Oh, I don't know if Williams was ready for that, but he wrangles it in anyway. Jumper doesn't fall. Henry Calixte gets the rebound. And some quick work under the basket. That's Henry Calixte on the pass from Avery Anderson. Three-point basket by number 22, Jaden Williams. Stewart can't drain the three. Offensive board, though, for Anderson will give the Trojans another shot at it. $1:20 remaining in the second quarter, and it's still a 4-point ball game. It's been holding right at around 4 points, plus or minus, for quite a while now. Trojans had it down to 1. Tough rebound. Pruitt gets it, but then loses it to Calixte. And there it is. Jimmy Brown from Jashawn Melvin. You saw that frenetic pace. Lakers got briefly frazzled, and the Trojans turned it into a turnover. ZZ Clark spins for the Laker bucket. To the paint. Anderson can't get it to go. Gets a shooting motion interrupted there. Williams to Kusei for 2 on a long pass. And we're back up to 6. Again, Trojans had it down to 1. And looks like Melvin's going to hold the ball, make sure he gets the last shot. The 3 does not fall. That takes us to the end of the first half, and it's been a back-and-forth contest, but the Lakers have consistently led. They will go into the locker room with a 6-point advantage, 36-30 your score at halftime here in our final game, Game 24 of the 11th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. This season, give the gift of a healthy smile. Visit Baptiste Orthodontics and Dentistry for Kids with 3 convenient offices in Apopka, Orlando, and Windermere, offering braces and aligners for all ages. And exclusively in Apopka, make an appointment with Dr. Alma, our board-certified pediatric dentist. Hoopculture is the premier one-stop online store for copping unique basketball accessories. The forerunner of independent street and lifestyle apparel, setting trends with each and every new arrival. Visit hoopculture.com and enter promo code METRO for 10% off your order. Elevate Orlando is a civic nonprofit focused on helping students grow in strength of character and application of essential life skills. These skills are taught in the classroom, modeled through mentoring, and incorporated into everything they do so students can apply them to their lives. Through a partnership with OCPS, Elevate's curriculum is offered as an accredited elective course, and their private employee teacher mentors can spend more than 50% of their time outside of the school mentoring students. Excel Speed provides training for all sports, high school, Pop Warner, youth sports, football, baseball, track, and more for both boys and girls. Some of the benefits of Excel Speed fitness and training include NFL and All-American college trainers. The program is fully customizable and even mobile. They can come to you. President Lowood brings his experience as a former high school and college athlete to develop young players into successful athletes and scholars. Florida Hoops is the most respected name in boys high school basketball recruiting here in the Sunshine State. Their staff of writers and contributors provide coverage ranging from college commitments to player and team rankings to stories on prospects and programs from all around the state. Baptiste Orthodontics and Dentistry for Kids is a proud sponsor of the 11th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. With 3 convenient offices in Apopka, Orlando, and Windermere, it's never been easier to have a healthy new smile. Braces and aligners for all ages, plus dentistry for kids, exclusively in Apopka. We're going to take a quick break and see if we can't wet our whistles and get our voices through the last 16 minutes of our 24-game marathon. We'll be back from Joe Sterling Gymnasium with the final 2 quarters of the 11th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge in about 5 minutes. Stay with us. As we get ready to start the second half, we'll look at your first half scoring leaders. For the Lakers, Cousset has 2, Placer and Pruitt with 4 each, Williams with 5, Steinek with 3, leading the team ZZ Clark with 18. For Evans, Anderson, Stewart, and Calixte each have 2, Brown with 5, Melvin with 8 to lead his team. McQuay has 5, and Blackman has 6 as well. Again, we welcome you back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. We have just 16 minutes of basketball left, and then we will put a lid on the 2021 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge, and that will close out the 11th chapter of this storied event that was born at Wekiva when Scott Williams was the head coach there, followed him over to Apopka High School when he moved here several years ago, and it has been here ever since and has become a fixture of the Thanksgiving opener to the basketball season. A couple years we had to have it at MLK weekend because the FHSAA changed the definition of the basketball season so that Thanksgiving was no longer within the official season dates. So there were 2 years that we had it over MLK weekend instead of over Thanksgiving. Then, of course, last year we didn't have it at all because of the global health crisis. So we are delighted to be back this year. The Trojans have the opening possession of the third period. And we're underway. Anderson makes the opening salvo, can't get it to fall. Rebound to Pruitt. Jaden Williams draws the block on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul's called against number 21, Mike Blackman. That's his second personal foul, the first of this half for the Trojans. Jaden Williams hits his first. He has not been as big of a factor as we might have predicted in this game. Part of that is because he picked up 2 fouls early, so he hasn't seen as many minutes as he might have otherwise. And the other part of that is that ZZ Clark has really been carrying the torch for this team. The sophomore, who is already ranked as the number 7 sophomore in all of Florida by Florida Hoops. McQuay goes for 3, doesn't get it. Williams on the rebound, tries to take it himself, cannot go coast to coast. Pruitt's 3 not going to fall. But Drew Cousset gets a second chance 3 for the Lakers. Makes it a 10-point game. Lakers back in control after a missed attempt by the Trojans at the other end. Leading by 10, an opportunity to grow that double-digit lead here on this possession. And I think that was blocked. Alex Daniels fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 5, Eduardo Placer. His second personal foul, and the team's first of this half. Misses the first, but makes the second. Narrows the lead to 9. Avery Anderson makes a heads-up defensive play, gets in the way of that, but unable to get possession for the Trojans. Lakers keep it. Nice pass to the paint, and that's Jaden Williams from Eduardo Placer. Couple of dribbles, jump shot, not there. Rebound to Placer, going the other way. Transition opportunity to the paint. He's got it. Eduardo Placer, coast to coast for two. So the Lakers showing no signs of letting up coming out of the locker room. They shot 55% up to this point. Can't ask for too much more than that. 3-point basket from Melvin McQuay on the pass from Full timeout called by the Trojans. Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker is proud to support the 11th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge and sends his best wishes to all the participating teams. If you have a goal to buy or sell your home, put Latrice Singleton Vielo's passion to work for you with Keller Williams Realty. Stop by the raffle table outside the arena, she was running the raffle table outside the arena for all 3 days of our tournament. We had the big winner announced earlier this evening. But even with that opportunity gone, we still encourage you to check her out if you are looking to buy or sell your home. Latrice Singleton Vielo, your praying agent. The 11th Annual Metro vs. Florida Challenge is also proudly supported by Williams Construction and Development, dedicated professionals, superior craftsmanship, and better building materials. Back to live action with 5 minutes to go in the third period. The last 13 minutes of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. Nice little spin move there, and Williams from Cousset. Melvin slows things down a little bit. Lakers in no particular hurry to rush him. Melvin to the paint, not there, but putback made by Micah Blackman. Stolen by Jashawn Melvin as Williams' pass goes errant. Nice pass in the paint, and it falls. That's Melvin to Melvin McQuay for two. ZZ Clark trying to avoid a 5 count. And he does not. Five seconds under guard, Trojans ball. Jimmy Brown can't get anything to happen. Williams on the rebound. Trojans get there first. No transition play this time. Will set up the half-court set. Placer runs into a wall against Anderson. Swings it around. To the paint. Opportunity. And there it is. Drew Cousset from ZZ Clark. So ZZ Clark now has 2 assists in addition to his 18 points and 2 rebounds. Rebound this time goes to Drew Cousset. Clark is probably a favorite, an early favorite for the MVP award for this game. We'll see how things shake out. Blackman makes the rebound. Still a 10-point ball game, so this is not a one-and-done kind of thing. The book is not closed on this game yet. Evans has managed to keep it within shouting distance, and all it would take is a momentum shift, but that isn't it. Checking into the game for the Trojans, Chad Stewart. Melvin a little bit left of target. Putback is made by number 15, Chad Stewart. Trojans foul is called against number 3, Jimmy Brown, his first personal foul, the team's second. Checking into the game for Evans, number 23, Henry Calixte. Eduardo Placer to Jaden Williams for 3. And now Jaden Williams starting to find his stride. He had a slow start to today's game, but now he's up to 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And an unforced error there. Chad Stewart was thinking that Jimmy Brown was going to zig, and instead he zagged. Through the hoop, or through the net anyway. And Placer with a desperate attempt down the baseline, can't make it happen. Rebound to Brown. Brown quickly gets it to the corner. Calixte for 3, that's not there. Quick rebound, I think that was Anderson. And it's just Sean Melvin for 2. So again, Evans is staying in it, but they need to do more than just trade possessions. They've got some ground to make up. Placer misses, so the Trojans have an opportunity here to do just that. Melvin to the paint, doesn't like what he sees, goes back outside to Anderson. Back to Melvin. 3 doesn't fall. And the rebound, I think that was Williams. Foul is called against number 23, Henry Calixte. That's his first personal foul, the team's third of this half. We've got some personnel changes in and a timeout. 30-second timeout requested by the Lakers. The 11th Annual Metro versus Florida Challenge is presented in partnership with Varsity Sports Network. All your favorite sports all year long, all in one place. Visit varsitysportsnetwork.org for live 24/7 coverage of high school sports around the state, including all 24 games of the 11th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge presented by Hoop Culture. And we'll get a little extra length to this timeout while we clean up some sweat on the floor. Inbound to Steinek. ZZ Clark to Jaden Williams for 2. Putback is made by Henry Calixte, and that will be the last word of the third period. It closes the Lakers' lead to just 9. 53-44 is your score going into the final 8 minutes of the 11th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. And we'll take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks to everyone who helped to make the Metro versus Florida Challenge possible. We have a great number of admissions table workers, hospitality booth workers, score table workers, and all of the volunteers and staff members who bring the Metro versus Florida Challenge together. We also want to thank our friends at Varsity Sports Network who helped us to staff the broadcast coverage. Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief doing the online calls of many of the games. And, of course, our event director, Scott Williams, a true village coming together to make this 24-game marathon happen here at Apopka High School. And we were so sad to miss it last year and delighted to be able to bring it back to you this year. And, of course, we also dedicate this event to the honor and memory of Earl Graham, a Central Florida coaching legend who dedicated nearly 50 years of his life to improving the lives of young men here in Central Florida. Back underway for the last 8 minutes of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. The Lakers get the opening possession to bring it out. Williams got it! Jaden Williams from Eduardo Placer opening up fourth quarter scoring. Now up to an 11-point ball game, and again, the Trojans have been doing a decent job of trading possessions, but they've got to do more than trade possessions because they are in a hole established in the first half. Avery Anderson draws the foul. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against number 22, Jaden Williams. That's his third, the team's second. So we spoke earlier about the consequences of Williams' early 2 fouls. He has so far kept his nose clean until this moment, and this is actually okay. If you're the Lakers, you're thinking, all right, he picks up his third in the fourth quarter, got 7.5 minutes left. This is not so bad. Thirty-second timeout requested by the Lakers to preserve the possession that they got off of that rebound. So Jaden Williams, who had a slow start, is now up to 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. So he and ZZ Clark, pretty much as expected from the beginning, have been carrying the torch for the Lakers. And they're probably your top 2 contenders for the MVP award. Jashawn Melvin and Melvin McQuay, the Melvins, if you will, they each have double figures, 10 points for Evans in the books for each of them. As we go back to live action. 10-point ball game. Again, certainly not over yet, but the Trojans have some work to do. And there's Jaden Williams on the Laker dunk. So with that, he now moves in front of Clark as the leading scorer for the Lakers. To the paint. Williams puts up a wall there. Will go to the outside. Drain the rain. Jashawn Melvin for 3. Foul is called against number 3, Jimmy Brown, his second, the team's fourth. Foul is called against Evans, number 11, Alex Daniels. That's his second personal foul. The team's fifth. At the line shooting 2, Jaden Williams. Checking into the game for Windermere, number 0, Drew Kuzay. Missed one, made one. To the paint. Avery Anderson takes it in himself for 2. Back to an 8-point ball game. And the Trojans have had this as close as 1 in the second half. Just haven't been able to close it. Basket by number 22, Jaden Williams. So now we're back to a 10-point game. Williams crosses all the way up to 22 points. Melvin misses the tray. Steinek on the rebound. And it's stolen. Daniels takes the ball away from Pruitt. And Anderson might have outthought the room there. He might have been better off to just go up. Checking into the game for the Lakers, number 5, Eduardo Placer. Jashawn Melvin on the layup. And as he did that, I heard out of the corner of my ear the Coach Huff, shouting, "Too easy, that's too easy." And he's right. Eduardo Placer down the baseline for 2. So the damage is short-lived as the Lakers get it right back to a 10-point game, and now we're going to get a foul. Lakers foul called against number 1, Joshua Steinek. That's his first personal foul, the team's third. At the line, shooting 2, number 4, Jashawn Melvin. First one is not good. ZZ Clark back into the game for Windermere Prep. Oh for 2. Those were important free throws, and Trojans not able to pull down either of them. Trey doesn't fall for Kuzay, but putback made by Eduardo Placer. Micah Blackman on the pass from Jashawn Melvin. Trey not there for Williams. Rebound goes to Jimmy Brown. He's going to try to go all the way. Miss, but no, the putback doesn't fall either. Third chance basket. Putback made by Micah Blackman. Pruitt can't get it to fall. Micah Blackman, and 1. Timeout. Full timeout called by the Lakers. Once again, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out to support the 46 teams over 24 games here at the 11th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. And thanks also to those of you who have been tuning in tonight and across these 3 days on either YouTube or Varsity Sports Network. Thank you for your participation in making this one of the premier events in Central Florida basketball and an annual tradition that we are glad to bring back to open up the men's basketball season. Once again, to recap from before the timeout, Micah Blackman was fouled on the attempt and was at the line shooting for the three-point plays. Easy Clark picks up his second. Three-point play does not fall. Jaden Williams on the rebound. Going the other way. Runs into a wall. Can't get past Jimmy Brown. Williams goes to Pruitt. Pruitt can't get the three. And this time the rebound goes to Micah Blackman, who's been very active these last couple minutes. And now we get a foul. Foul called against number 5, Eduardo Placer. That's his third personal foul, the team's fifth. Shashawn Melvin for 3 on the inbound from Anderson. So just like that, we've got ourselves a three-point ball game. Not anymore, though. Jaden Williams on the Laker layup. Five-point ball game now. Again, Evans is not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. They have trailed the entire game, but they've kept it within, about 12 points or so. 3 for Alex Daniels on the pass from Jashawn Melvin. And now it's a one-possession game. Looks like we're going to have an exciting conclusion after all. I hear some Evans fans in the crowd behind me, and they're getting excited. Foul called against Trojans, number 11, Alex Daniels, his third personal foul, the team's sixth. So that's the last freebie. Full timeout requested by the Lakers. That is their penultimate timeout. One timeout remaining for Windermere Prep, and the Trojans still have 2.5. If you would like to enjoy any of the games from the Metro versus Florida Challenge, again, they will remain live on our YouTube channel. Just search for Metro versus Florida Challenge on YouTube on your favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device. You can go back and watch any of the games from this event. You can also go back to the 10th, 9th, and 8th Metro versus Florida Challenges. We have some of those up as well. And, of course, you can get the complete archives. We're going to go through later this weekend and find all of the records set in this event, and we will add them to our Hall of Fame. We know at least one new record got set by Bryce Sensabaugh on Wednesday night at the 7:30 game for Lake Highland Prep with 39 points. He becomes the third highest scorer of all time in the Metro versus Florida Challenge. A little trouble on the inbound. Lakers pull it in together anyway, and there it is. It's Eduardo Placer from the inbound from Drew Cousset. So that gives the Lakers a little breathing room, and the Trojans starting to run out of clock here. Deflected out of bounds by Placer. Trojans retain possession. Again, this is certainly not a foregone conclusion. This game is still achievable, but time is running out. Stuffed by Williams. For 3, wide left. And a race to the rebound all the way to the backcourt. Anderson picks it up, punches away back to the paint. Finds his man at the baseline, and it's stolen. But stolen back. And now Avery Anderson draws the foul. Foul called against Kyson Pruitt. That's his first personal foul. The team's sixth. Anderson shooting 2. Well, you hear coach after coach say it, free throws win ball games. And the Trojans tonight, not counting the ones being shot right now. Actually, we will count those. As he makes 1 of 2. Evans is 5 of 14. So there you go. There's 9 points left on the table, which would be more than enough to give them the lead. Deshaun Melvin is fouled. Foul is called against number 33, ZZ Clark. That's his third personal foul, the team's 7th. It puts the Trojans into bonus. Deshaun Melvin shooting 1-1. He has 18 so far for the Trojans tonight. Going to try to make it 20 here. And now, finally, something falls for Evans. They can't take the lead here, but they can get it to 1, and they do. So we're going to have a photo finish. 98 seconds left to decide this one. Clark takes the ball to front court, getting double team, full court pressure, and draws a foul. No more freebies. Nobody has a foul to give, so we're going to the free throw line every time now. Foul called against number 4, Deshaun Melvin. That's his third personal foul. The team's 7th. It puts the Lakers into bonus. ZZ Clark at the line, shooting 1-1. Clark has 18 points, trying to add to that total now, and he does. Clark was the obvious team leader out of the gate for the first half. Williams has since eclipsed him after he had a slow start. 2 for 2 at the line, takes it back to a 3-point ball game. Still 1 possession separating these two teams. We're going to have an exciting conclusion here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium, one way or the other. Blocked, but put back made by Micah Blackman. So we're back to a 1-point ball game. 65 seconds to go. To the paint. That was too easy. Eduardo Placer on the Laker layup. Back to a 3-point ball game. And the Lakers have 1 timeout remaining. The Trojans have 2.5, so either team can stop the clock if they need to. Trojans want to be selective here. They want to take a high percentage shot, but at the same time, they also want to leave themselves time if they have to foul. And slipping, and not called for the travel. The 3 does not fall for Jimmy Brown, and we're going to get an immediate foul. Wasting no time. Foul called against number 4, Deshaun Melvin. That's his 4th personal foul. The team's 8th. The Lakers continue into bonus. ZZ Clark will be back at the line, shooting 1-1. So Clark, who now has 20 points, which is eclipsed only by Jaden Williams' 24. Again, he's in the top 7 for the class of 2024 as rated by Source Hoops. And that's a pretty rarefied list. The underclassmen rankings don't cover as many players as the senior rankings do. They don't get as much attention. So if you get one of those coveted spots, there aren't that many to get. And he hits 2 for 2 at the line, and that's going to give a little breathing room to the Lakers. Now a 5-point ball game. It's got to be 2 possessions. This one doesn't hit for Melvin. And Eduardo Placer manages to snag a couple of seconds. Foul called against number 11, Alex Daniels. That's his fourth personal foul. The team's ninth. Once more to bonus, this time for Eduardo Placer. And he makes the first. That gives him 15 points tonight, so he is the third player in double figures for the Lakers, all three of them on the court right now. Misses the second. May not matter, though, especially there as the ball gets thrown away to a steal by Placer. That should seal the deal. Placer dribbles the ball out of bounds, but trailing by at least 2 possessions with 3 seconds left, this seems like it's in the books. And that's it. The Trojans are going to concede this one. That takes us to the end of the ball game. It was a close one right up to the end, but the Lakers prevail and fight off a valiant comeback attempt by the Trojans. 75-69 is your final score in our 24th and final game here at the Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. And we need to award one more piece of hardware for tonight. We're going to do that right now. And there are actually several excellent contenders among the Lakers for the MVP award. There are 3 players in double figures, but nobody has more in the stat books with 24 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks. He had a slow start getting into foul trouble, but came on in a big way in the second half. Your Earl Graham most valuable player for Game 24 is number 22, Jaden Williams. This takes us to the end of the 11th Annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge presented by Hoop Culture. Your final score, Metro 9 wins, Florida teams 14. So Florida takes the